Yay! I was missing you so much. So thanks so much for coming back to this video. Because in this video, I'm actually going to do probably the coolest thing that we're doing all year. We're going to look at skeletal animation. We got our Plants vs. Zombies game rolling pretty well right now. Um, the game is working, but the downside of the game is, well, our zombies are not really animated. Um, now, well, I'm gonna run it real quick. I'm sure you guys remember. It's not been that long, but when our zombies come in, they're just like stifle. So easiest way to animate the zombie would be like, well, you go in here and you copy, you paste, and you make frames. And in the frame, you do things like, let's see, does this even have? Well, I would go to Photoshop, but like my rule is kind of like don't Photoshop unless you really have to. But like, yeah, let's make this thing go here. um, and then let's put the speed at like zero point 0.3 or something. And now like, yeah, my zombie is moving. And when we play the game now, um, when the zombie comes in, let's hope it works. Yeah, so now I got movement in my zombie and he's animated. Yay, we're done. But obviously that's not cool at all. I mean, that looks terrible. Now, well, you can make it look good by actually manually redrawing images and make a walk cycle for the zombie. But that's not what we're going to be doing. So in Plants vs. Zombies, the animation is actually done really well. It's like the arms, the head, the body, it's all animated separately. So in the code, the game knows that the zombie has an arm, that the zombie has a skeleton, and the arm is attached to the shoulder, and all sorts of cool stuff. Now, to do that, we're going to use spine. Now, the first thing is, I don't have spine on this system right now, and actually spine didn't really change since the last time. So I am just going to drop in a video that was recorded ages ago, where I'm young and I'm cool and I'm wearing a bandana. And I'm going to run you through Photoshop a little bit, because to set up for spine, first you go to Photoshop and then you get into spine. Now, in the lab, we should have spine set up and you can mess with it, but it's not required. This is purely for academic purposes. If you want to learn how to do skeletal animation, I'll explain it to you in that video, okay? So I'm going to run that video, and then the second part of this is that I'm going to change your project and actually import the skeletal animation so it works in your project. So it's going to be pretty cool. So first things first, let's look at the video that I made in the yesteryears, and I'll see you after that. So anyway, this is what my zombie looks like. What I'll do is I'll just work off of this one and just show you a little bit how it works. So you start with your root, and your root is really, if you have an empty project, that's all you'll see. Actually, maybe I should just get an empty project real quick. So alright, I got a new project now. So how did this thing work again? Alright, so well, it starts in Photoshop really. So I'm just gonna go down to Photoshop for you guys. Yeah, look at all the stuff that's on my desktop right now. Oh my god, even more stuff that my processor has to do. Well, good thing I got a beast of a computer, because wow. Alright, let's see if I can find the folder that I'm actually supposed to look into. Yeah, got it. So sorry about this. So resources, and I actually gave you the Photoshop files. So it starts with these images that I've just shown you. So what you would do is you go into Photoshop and you put those images together so you have a nice looking zombie that looks like this. And you put them in groups and you make sure that everything is in the right place. For example, if I move the head is probably, you want to have the outer arm to be on top and the head just underneath it. So if I move my head around, see, that's where it is in a 3D space. I don't know why my head and my torso are tied all of a sudden. It's probably something I did. Yeah, something I did. So actually there. So, alright. Alright, so with my zombie drawn out, if you purchase, or probably if you just download Spine, they give you this little script that you can find in their folder, and you can just browse through it, and you just do browse, and you go to, what is it, like C, program files, wherever you install it, Spine, scripts, Photoshop, layers to PNG, and when you open that, you want to write your layers as PNG, write Spine JSON, And these are the output directories, and you can just do the default stuff probably and press OK. And the result of running that script, I'm not gonna run it myself right now because there's no point in doing so, because it's already right in your resource folder. It's actually in the Photoshop. You got a zombie.json and images, and basically it's a copy of the images, but the ones that you actually used in this little drawing here. So you export that thing, and then you go to spine, and you do what is it again? I think it's import data. Well, let's just, yeah, JSON or binary file. So here we go, zombie dot, here we go, scale, and we press OK, and yep, that's what happens. So we kind of get our zombie, and for some reason I think I forgot my old zombie still in here. Nope. Well, this is kind of weird because it already has the entire bone structure. And I don't want that. Did it overwrite that or something? I don't know. I'm gonna delete it and try again. If that happens to you, well, it's probably good. But challenge, resources, zombie, spine. I got it from the spine folder. I need to get it from the Photoshop folder. So here we go. This is the zombie that I'm looking for. There we go. That's what you should supposed to be getting. The other thing was already way too good. So the outline is probably not open for you, so you don't need that either. I really hate how this thing works in terms of zooming in and zooming out. So you got your zombie, and there's already a default skeleton. You can just delete the default skeleton. You got your zombie here. All right. So first off, those missing images, you go to images, and in your path, you go to browse, and you set that thing to your Photoshop path. And boom, now it looks like the zombie, exactly the one you had in Photoshop. All those things are in there. Now you can see that I had a zombie head eyeless in there as well. I didn't really have that one in Photoshop, or it wasn't visible in Photoshop, but I did have it in the folder. So yeah, I'll show you what that's good for later on. So, all right, what I'll do is I'm not going to give you a full tutorial on this thing because it will take way too long, and it's actually really straightforward, so I'll just show you the basics. So what you want to do at this point is you want to put bones in there. And first off, you want to move those images to, because this is your reference point, this is the root. If you click this thing here, that becomes selected. If you click somewhere else, let's see if I can actually pull that off. See? Yeah, I'm not clicking anywhere. Clicking on root, boom, this thing gets selected. So what you want is you want to click on images, you want to click on translate. Translate really means move. And then you want to click on all the images that you got here, and you just keep, what is it, Control, Shift? Yeah, it's Control. So keep Control down. Now alternatively, oh, and that will actually make some of them appear in here, I guess. That's weird. I didn't know. Well, it's probably not weird if you know spine better than I do. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Okay, so you can see I'm pretty much a novice with spine. You can just select everything. No, you can't. What happens if yeah, just click on translate, select everything. Don't select this thing. Make sure images is clicked on here. And then you can just move him up and down using those arrows so that he's standing at a spot where you're like, yeah, that's where I want my zombie dude. Okay? All right. So, with that in mind, now we can put those bones on there. And that needs to, press escape. Those bones need to start with with a point that, you know, if you move that point around, you move around everything, and our root is good for that because that's going to be a reference point or origin point in GameMaker. All right. So we're going to put those bones on there real quickly. So you just select compensate bones, I guess. Oh, you click create here, and that just basically does it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click, like, say this leg here. And I'm going to click control. Then I'm going to click the leg. And then I am going to, oh, I'm messing this thing up. All right. So yeah, if you're struggling with this a little bit, Control Z is your best friend. So the way it works is you draw a bone. So I'm going to draw a bone for this leg. No. All right, so I gotta select the parent bone. So I'm just gonna click on the root. That's gonna be my parent bone. And now I'm gonna click on the leg, Control click the leg, let go, and then I'm gonna draw my bone for that leg. And what that'll do is it will grab the image that I selected, which is called zombie outer leg. It'll make a node for it and it'll make a bone for it in the structure. And it is parented to my root. It's in my root. So now what I can do is I can control click the image below it, since I'm still selecting this thing, release control, and then draw the bone for that. Okay? Control, click the foot, release control, draw the bone. Look, I'm making the skeleton for my zombie. And all of these are attached to each other. So let me show you why that's cool. I'm gonna click create. I'm gonna go back to pose. I'm gonna click rotate. I'm gonna click this thing here, this bone. Look, I can rotate the entire leg in one go. I can really start posing like as if it were a 3D thing almost. So let's go back to create and let's just actually no, I don't think I have to do anything else. I mean, you kind of see how that works. Say I want to have the torso or something. I'll just do one more. So I'll do control. Wait, I'll select my root because my torso is not, this is not the parent of my torso. So I'll select my root, control, click the image, release control, draw the bone. And my torso is probably like this. Control, click the head, release control, draw the head. Control, click the jaw, release control, draw the jawbone. Yeah, well, might as well do them all. So I'm selecting the torso as the parent for my arms. So control, click the arm, draw the bone. Control, click the arm, draw the bone. Control, click the hand, draw the bone. Control, click the upper arm that's a little bit hidden here, draw the bone. Oh wait, that's not good because now this is my parent. So Control Z, click on the torso, control, find it, click it, draw it. Find it, click it, draw it. Control, click, release control, draw it. There we go. I might as well do the leg. So this one was tied to my origin point. I think I kind of want this one tied to the torso as well. So what I could do for that is, well, I'll click on the torso and I'll draw this one first. So let's grab this guy here, done. Let's grab this guy here, done. And the foot, done. Alright, so now I got my skeleton in, and if you make all of these smaller, again, you'll see how everything's related to each other. So the body, everything's in the body except the leg. So I kind of want to make the leg part of the body as well. So I'm just dragging it over. And now the body is my biggest thing. If I move the body, I'm moving everything, and the body is tied to the reference point. And then I've got the body, well actually, yeah, in there I've got the head. It's attached to it. And then I've got everything in there. So if you now click on pose, you click on rotate, you can click on all these bones. Like let's say I move the head. Whoops. Oh, actually I want my jaw to be attached to my head. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the jawbone and drag it inside of the zombie head. Doesn't that work? Yeah, I think I just did it. Yeah, see? So now it's attached to there. So if I click this thing and I move it, see, now I'm moving everything, and I can still move my jaw. Well, don't click on the bone itself, and then you can move it where you would like to move it. Zombie. Alright. So yeah, and if I do things like moving the torso, everything moves. That's not good. I think I want my legs out of there. So do the exact opposite of everything I just told you. So just grab this thing and toss it in root. Same thing for the outer leg. Drag it in root. And they're attached to the root, but not. Let's see what this does. Whoops. So click this point. Yep, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Oh, I forgot about the tie. So create, control, click the tie, draw the bone, and it's already attached to the torso, so that's nice. Pose, let's move the torso a little bit, rotate. Here we go. Let's grab this one for the other leg. Alright, so we can move everything around. So that's the first thing that you need to know for Game Maker. Now, another cool thing that you can do is put different skins on there, which will use the same bones and the same animations. So, forgot, how did that thing work again? Okay, I'll have to look at the original thing, but they actually have really good guides. But you can use skins so that there's a skin that's eyeless and a skin that actually uses the head. So the way that works, if I remember correctly, all right, I'm just gonna take a swing at it. So in zombie head, what you do is you click on zombie head, you say new skin placeholder, and then you say head. There you go. And then wait, how did that work again? Yeah, I remember. So well, I actually cheated. What you do is you make skins. So you make one for eyeless, and you make a skin for regular. And what you can do is you can make them active by clicking on whether they're visible or not. And in visible eyeless, I'm going to go to my root, I'm going to go to my body, I'm going to go to my head, I'm going to go to my head, and you got this thing here. So I'm making this thing visible, and I'm actually going to drag the zombie head in there. So for eyeless, we've got that thing. Now, if I make regular visible, all of a sudden that image will be gone. So what you can do is you can just grab the other head and toss it in head. There you go. And it's going to be off a little bit, so all you have to do is get translate out. Make sure it's lined up correctly. But there you go. So that way you can make skins, and now I can swap in between them. The only problem is I made a mistake. I should actually have used the eyeless head, not the head one here, which now I'll also have to reposition. There we go. So basically when I do eyeless and I swap, see how that works? And well, I didn't position it well, but who cares? You can change that if you want to for your own. Alright, so that's one cool thing that you could do. What else do I really want to share? You can give these things colors to make them easier to see. Like, say, I want to make my entire leg bone thingy structure. Just select all of them. And then just say, these ones are going to be orange. See? So now I got an orange one in there, which is easier to see where it is. If you click on Setup, you go into the Animate view, and you can make keyframes here. So you could say, well, this is my first keyframe. So let me just wait. Okay, so I'm grabbing all these. I'm grabbing this little guy here and putting him on rotate. And I actually like him like this, so I'm going to click the key. And now there's a keyframe in here on the upper leg. So if I go to frame 5 and I say, I'm just going to toss this thing out like this, then you'll see I've made a keyframe at frame 5 as well. And you'll see the onion skin as well. That's the ghosting. So you can say how many frames you want to see beforehand, actually. So if you want to make it a little bit more. See, so now you really see all the 5 images. So you can really make your animation very nice. And if you press play, you'll see the animation, you see the leg kicking. And all this information will be saved in the sprite as well. So that's how you animate things. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, the bounding boxes are important for GameMaker as well, because those are actually your collisions. If you don't have bounding boxes, you can't really do any collisions. So how do you make a bounding box? Well, you just go on your root and you make new bounding box. Just bounding, doesn't matter what you call it. And you just go new vertices and you can click on new. And you can draw a little bounding box. And actually for the Plants vs. Zombies game that we're making, this is kind of the bounding box you want. Now, I can see some people thinking like, oh my god, this is such a good way to do hitboxes in Street Fighter. As far as I'm aware, you can't animate these. But what you can do is make different skins maybe and tie them to them. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet, but it's worth looking into. But I don't think you can animate them so far, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, that's how you do bounding boxes. And when you're done with all that, you basically do export, JSON, Atlas, and that's all you need. And you just export it somewhere, click the export button, and you're done. All right, with all that out of the way, I don't want to talk about how to put stuff together in Spine because I haven't done that in ages. But I opened up Spine. I actually found my license for it again. And here you can see the project that you saw in the video. So just in case I didn't do this in the video enough, like if you press play, you can see him eating like this. And in the animations, if we double click, if I click on this thing for walk-in, you can see how the walking animation looks like. I made these myself. They're not perfect. Okay, so anyways, so one of the things is before you do your export, if something's not working, it might be that GameMaker has been updated. So the export still works, but you have to make sure that the version of your export in Spine matches the one in GameMaker. So That's another thing. But yeah, I'll get you guys the files if you want to mess with it, the JSONs, so you don't have to buy Spine yourself. The trial version does not allow you to do anything really. Like, yeah, these are the three files that you need. You need the Atlas, the JSON, and the PNG. Um, and then it'll work, but you can't use the trial version to just create that from the Spine source file. I'll get you the source file as well, by the way. So, anyways, let's get this into our project. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this guy, and I'm just gonna call him walk-in one right now, or walk-in one right now is fine. And let's see if the import works. So import, you just import the JSON. It's undoable, and then yes, and ooh, look, Spain, sweet. Now, okay, our original image was 151 by 160. This guy is 89 by 146. I mean, I think he's the same size, but he's just like, he doesn't have all the white space around him. So that's one thing. Now, if you double click this here, that doesn't work anymore because that's all taken care of by Spine now. Um, so yeah, things are going to get interesting now. Let's check our collision mask. Whoa, that stuff got moved too. So let's just try to put it in a similar spot. Now, maybe for once, GameMaker's new interface is going to be helpful here. So if I put these next to GameMaker, what are you doing? What are you doing, GameMaker? What the? What? Oh, I must have. Okay. So yeah. Now I've got two workspaces. Isn't that great? That's what I wanted. All right. Seeing me struggle with the interface from time to time is part of the learning process. So I'm bringing this guy up. I'm bringing this guy up. All right. So okay, my collision mask for this guy kind of looks. Okay, so I want to put this in a similar spot. So yeah, this looks similar enough. Okay, so now we got a walker. Walker, get it? It's just a Walking Dead reference or something. Um, so if you try to press play, don't no longer works. Edit image no longer works. All this stuff doesn't spine. If you want to make change, you have to get back. So getting this guy to work now, I'm actually gonna delete the other one. No, yeah, old. That's what I'm gonna do. Whoa, wait. Walk in old. Here we go. And this guy is gonna now be as zombie regular walking. Um, Now I don't think GameMaker changes code. So if we go to our time, no, actually, if we go to our scripts and expand zombie, looks exactly the same. So let's see what this does. I don't think this is gonna work. It's not gonna be that easy, but you never know. You know. Let's. Okay. So that is surprising. All right. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm gonna have to, yeah. But I guess some of the things still are still working. So let's see how to fix this. So first things first, GameMaker actually has an entire page on all this stuff. So if you go to search and then you just type in spine, I think you'll find all this stuff about skeletal animation. So if you open that up, as I am trying to do right now, you'll see importing non-bitmap sprites. Actually, if you click on skeletal animation sprites, it literally shows you a screenshot from Spine because that's the only software that I use. Now, this is all about how you import stuff. To mess with it, you have to go back to the previous page. So here's the back button. And there's like skeletal animation get, set, blah, 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 all sorts of stuff. Now, I've done this before in the past, so I'm just going to use a cheat sheet here because it's been too long for me to remember exactly, but I can run you guys through it. So, okay. So for the spawn script, everything is pretty much the same, except we're going to make one change here as well. For regular eating, we're also going to do old. Regular eating old. Because as you'll see, since we basically now have a character. It's no longer just a sprite. It's a full character, and we're going to call him regular, as zombie regular. Um, and yeah, like this bit with the walking, we don't need that anymore. Because we have all the animations are all part of this JSON file that we imported. So this guy has all the animations. I think he even has multiple heads. Like, let me see here. If I double click this, see he has multiple heads that we can select between and everything. So yeah, it's going to be really cool because this is the sprite sheet now that we are animating. Oh my god. You guys excited? This is really fun. I mean, for me, this is like, wow. It's going to be so fun. All right, so we need to put some stuff in between here. So setting the sprite, still, that's what we're doing, but then we need to tell them like, look, this is how I want you to be animated. So set the animation settings, and that's basically what's going wrong here. So skeleton animation set, and we're gonna use walking. Now, there we go. Now, if I go back to spine, did I close it already? Darn it. I'll pause it and open it. So voila. Um, so these animations here, they're up here. They're eating and walking. So whatever name is in here is what we will be using, okay? Because I think actually, let's find out. If you open up the, dang it. All right, I'm going to make a copy of this, and instead of JSON, I'm just going to call it txt. This is a Windows thingy, because I don't have all the software installed yet. But as you can see here, this is just a text file with a whole bunch of coordinates, really. So it'll actually have all that information in here, and like walking is part of it. So we need to use those same names because that's what the JSON kind of contains. So anyways, let's go back to GameMaker. Yeah, this is the one that I'm working on. So this, what's in here comes from Spine. Has nothing to do with this anymore. Actually, we're going to delete these soon, okay? So this comes from Spine. So that's the first thing we need to do. We need to set the animation to walking. And actually, let's see if we have any errors at this point. Okay, the game's running. That's cool. Doom, 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 doom. He's walking. Look, he's totally walking. Isn't that awesome? So the only thing is he doesn't really have a head. I mean, this is kind of a cool zombie dude. I like him. The Headless Horseman. So I think what we want to do now is we want to set the skin. So skeleton, skin, set, regular. Okay? So let's see what that does. Because I think in the skins we determined the head and all that kind of stuff. So let's find out. And now he has a head and he's animated. So yeah, the reason why we had to do that is when we look in Spine here and we look at the skins and we open that up, there's an eyeless version. Oops. How do I? Oh, right mouse. Eyeless version and there's a regular version. And if no version is set, he looks like this. Okay. So yeah, if you have Spine, you can mess with these things and make them look differently. But yeah. So again, eyeless and regular are the options that we can use for that. So skin set, regular. And actually, how about instead of using regular here, we use type. Now this will not change much right now, but we can put eyeless as a zombie version in there in a bit. Okay. So let's start now and see if we don't have any errors. But you know, remember when we were looking for the regular? Oh yeah, that's gonna lead to errors because we need to use other dot type. See, no difference, still working fine. Um, so yeah, cool. Oh, actually, we're using this. Actually, yeah, what I'm gonna do is zombie regular. Yeah, it's actually like a subtype that we're using now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename this just as zombie. We have one zombie in here, and we're gonna get rid of this and see if it still works. Might lead to an error once he starts eating, though. But so far, so good, and I think we're gonna get an error when he gets there. He just disappears, which is fine. Better than an error, I guess. We'll fix that in a second. But okay, so we got walking and skin set. We're going to use other type for that. So we're using the regular thing for that, and we can change that to eyeless as well if we like. So so then we are going to set something. We're going to set blends, and this is kind of like a creation function. So skeleton animation mix, and we're going to write this walking, eating, 0.5. Okay. Now, what are we doing wrong? Nothing. Now, I hope that there's a helpful page here. Yeah, so this is an interpolation function. So what this does is when the zombie goes from walking to eating, we are going to use both of the animations and merge them together. Actually, you know what? Comment this out for now. We're not doing this. Right now, this is what we're doing, and we're going to try to fix it when they start eating. So in zombie, step if we're colliding with a plant, darn it, I did that thing again. If we're colliding with a plant, okay, so we are going to go get S zombie. Actually, if we're not combining it like that, we can just go S zombie because we only have one zombie. So yeah, it could just be S zombie. Um, and this guy is S zombie as well. We actually don't need that line of code, but what if? So what we're gonna do here is instead of sprite in the, yeah, so we're gonna do skeletal animation set, and now he's gonna start eating, and down here we're gonna make him start walking again, and I must have done a typo. Yeah, because this needs to become yellow. So let's see, skeletal, it's skeleton animation. So here we go. So yeah, make sure that your colors are always correct. So skeleton animation, walking, and eating. All right, so let's see what happens when we get the zombie to interact with one of our plants. He'll eat it, and he'll move on. All right, so when we set the eating thing, though, that was kind of weird. I was kind of expecting his head to just, you know, the skin set not to be adjusted by it, but I guess, all right. Let's do the skin set thingy. Maybe that just gets reset or something, so other, what was it? Type? Is that what I'm using for it? I think so. No, wait, not other type. This would just be type because I'm the zombie. Skin set type. Skin set type. Oh, wait, it's probably because we reset this and we don't have to reset this. Yeah, that might be the issue. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Here we go. It just needs to switch because if we reset the sprite, we're resetting everything and that just clears. So, all right, let's do this. Yeah, see, so now it does work. Eat it, and we're moving on. Yay. So, yeah, you can just swap them out. Now, darn it, I should have pointed out. Look at how the animation between these two things is, though. Like, it's really jerky. It's just like he'll just see, it's like, and now I'm eating, and and now I'm walking. So it's really jerky. We kind of want him to do nom 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 nom, and then bring the arms back down and bring him back up when he starts eating. So to do that, we can do that in the script. That is the skeleton animation mix. So what this does is it sets the animation to take half of each, 0.5. So one would be go full walking, 0 would be full eating. So what you want to do is set it up like this. There you go. So when we're going from walking to eating, blend with 0.5, interpolate between both animations, and from eating to walking, blend like that. If we run the game now, you'll see him pull up his arms slowly when he starts eating. It's not going to be as jerky anymore. Because that's this kind of cool stuff you can do with the anime. See? Woohoo! And he brings him down again. Because, yeah, you can now calculate, because GameMaker knows that your character has arms. Final thing I want to do, timeline. So the zombies are coming. Let's do one zombie random lane. This one's going to be regular, but this guy... Wait, that's weird. Alright, let's do this. This guy is going to be an eyeless one. And we're going to put some more eyeless guys in. Like one eyeless, one regular. And with the big wave, this guy can be eyeless, and this guy can be eyeless. So that should do it. That should put some eyeless zombies in as well. So if you so the first one is just a regular zombie. It's way easier to animate zombies than anything else, actually. The second one is an eyeless one. So now in our script, we are spawning different styles of zombies. So, and like, yeah, if you get rid of these things here, both of these resources, nothing really changes. So yeah, and you can do the same for, because I give you all the sprites. You could make a skeletal sunflower so that his head is bobbing up like in the actual Plants vs. Zombies game, and they're not just static. Or you can make You can make a pea shooter that will actually do like a whoop animation when the ball comes out. You can do all that kind of stuff with Spine. It's really cool. All right, so that it really is the end of this video tutorial series. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching again. You know I'll miss you. Bye bye.